Welcome, Franchise Mutiny. I'm Isaac. Returning to the show is someone whose name is Michael, and we know a few things about him. What do we know?
We did this last time,
and I didn't
exactly how you introduced me.
And I didn't think of a new introduction.
That's
so
fine.
Okay.
What were the things you?
He wears hats.
Not wearing a hat this time. Wasn't either. I don't think I was wearing a hat last time.
He's been known to wear hats. He's
sure
notorious hat wearer.
Fine, fair enough.
He is a filmmaker.
Yeah, sure. It's not great, but better than fucking Airplane 2, some caliber, I think.
And he's a conspiracy theorist. Now, if you notice, I did switch up the order, so technically new introduction. Michael, how are you?
I'm great, man. This is cool to be back here in your loving arms, in your loving apartment. With
well, this is a professional studio.
This is sorry, that's what I meant.
I don't live here, sir.
Sorry. No, I mean, I don't know, the set you have, it just feels so homey, you know, even if it's not. I'm sure that this has to be at least a $2 million set. I mean,
2.5.
2.5, but I mean, it's very homey for that kind of a budget.
Yeah, you would never guess.
You'd never guess.
Well, thank you for returning. This is a very special episode.
Why?
Very special.
Why is it special?
It's the 10th episode. We're in the.
We're celebrating the 10th episode.
It's the 10th episode.
Nice.
Double digits.
Yeah.
Finally made it to double digits. We're gonna be
Remember your 10th birthday?
10th. I don't.
Oh man, I don't remember.
Pretty drunk.
I was trashed, man.
I don't remember.
My dad and I got so trashed on my 10th birthday. It's crazy.
So yeah, it's double digits. Gonna be here for a long time.
Yeah.
Some say may never get out of it. But
who's saying that?
It's
right.
No one thought anyone could do this.
No one thought it.
No one thought that this show could make it here. I thought we were gonna be canceled.
I don't think anybody is worried about any of this. I don't think you're gonna get canceled. I think
it could get canceled. I think
by whom? Well, who's gonna? Or you're gonna cancel it. If any, you're gonna be the one who would do that.
I have there's a lot of higher ups that I need to please, and
sure.
They're constantly like, hey, you gotta be more mainstream, more corporate. You gotta sell things. No thanks. So yeah, this is pretty great. I made a poster, a special poster.
Wow, you did make a.
I made a poster for the occasion. I'll probably take a picture of this and.
Wow! Yeah,
this is a dumb joke, and
it's not a dumb
that
joke.
has
really proud
that
of
has
you.
no relevance to an audio form.
He wrote the number 10 on a blank white sheet of paper, printing paper, and I
spent all week on this.
He spent the whole week on this. And
hundreds of dollars.
The 0 looks like a human head, and the 1 looks like, I think, a flagpole on a golf course or something. But it's not even connected. They don't even. The 1 doesn't even segment at the bottom. You know, or it's like it's supposed to be like perpendicular or whatever. It's you don't even do that.
And you see like the little disconnect there at the top of the 1.
Well, that one's a little bit. It's not as noticeable.
It's
a little
representing.
bit more natural.
It's representing the human struggle, and I think
right.
that's really what I'm trying to get here with my art.
It's cool. It's not even a poster. It's like 8.5 by 11 or whatever printer paper. But sure.
I drew this on a large canvas, and then I had my research team, my new research team. They shrunk it down to an 8 by 11 so I could have it. I did have this in my notebook the entire we were watching the movie.
Wow.
Just like,
really?
this bit's gonna crush.
Did you think the same with the 70s thing you put in your pocket? I don't remember if we recorded that, but sorry. Did I just spoil a behind the scenes?
No, but I think that is very funny for the listener to just hear you say, does that explain the 70s thing that was in your pocket?
The listeners
shouldn't explain it.
They're gonna think it was like cocaine or LSD.
The 70s thing. Okay, it could have been a Rubik's Cube. That was a cool 70s.
I thought it came out in the 80s.
People are stupid.
Are they?
Michael, they don't know what decade things came from.
Well,
that could have been an iPhone. They would have been like, yeah, the 70s.
All right, well, that's...
my listeners are dumb.
Wow,
Michael.
yeah, I was going to say...
Here's what I'm saying. 10 episodes in, listeners are dumb. They shouldn't listen.
All right, sheeple, listen up here. You have what I call an inferior IQ, okay? Mm-hmm. And what Isaac has
Can you dumb down your words so they could fucking understand you?
Look, man, if you want to roast your audience, I will jump right in tenfold and just roast these fuckers to kingdom come. I will. I'll do it mercilessly. Okay. And then I'll come back. I'll circle back to you over there. Yeah. What a weird thing, right? Yeah. I'm just here, everyone.
Oh, I see her this time.
Yeah, that's this weird. Time, right? Oh. Isn't it weird? She gets more real every time we do an episode. So next time she'll probably speak, but at least now you can see her this time around.
Maybe I could hear. Let's see. Hello? Hello?
So it was 4:20 the other night. We were hanging out, and I got so stoned that I thought she looked like a Brussels sprout. And I told her that. And then she told me the next morning. I kind of remember that, but I just was like... I probably would have gone the rest of my life not remembering I said that had she not brought it up. So. You alright? Is everyone okay? Can we put up a picture when you edit this? Can you put up a picture of Emma so people can at least get some semblance of where I was coming from?
Put me next to a Brussels sprout.
Yeah, do like a comparison of... Baby Brussels sprout and on Wednesday, and just have them side by side. Have your low IQ audience see if they can figure out which one's the Brussels sprout and which one's.
So yeah, episode 10 going good so far. We're very professional this time around. So do you want to say anything?
Next time, I told you. Okay, like I said, the next time it manifests itself. Before you know it, she'll be hosting this. Like that'll be like episode 5 or whatever. Me and this thing. She'll be hosting the show. She nods in approval. Airplane 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Horrible movie. Not looking forward to this one. Talking about it.
Okay. So yeah. Brussels sprout. Okay, I'm sorry.
Do you like Brussels sprouts?
I
love Brussels sprouts. I'm sorry.
Do you?
Sorry. But yes.
Let's talk about this.
I want to know. Do you like Brussels sprouts, though?
I don't think so. I'm not sure. I haven't tried it in a long time. Here's the thing. When I have food in my mind that I'm like, I don't like that, I probably haven't tasted it in over a decade. So it's built on just... child me probably just looking at something being like, oh, gross. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I haven't eaten Brussels sprouts in a very long time. I haven't eaten chocolate in 15 years.
Jesus.
Because I tried it in kindergarten and I was like, no thanks, I don't like this. I am never having chocolate again. And so I haven't had chocolate in 15 years. One of these days, that's going to change.
Wow. That's crazy to me. That's like, so you blacklisted chocolate and Brussels sprouts?
I do have chocolate here.
Right, but you have not eaten it. How does that work? How long has it been here?
Since Halloween.
Okay.
So I've always had the concept of if we ever got around to, and this is just like a show thing, not if you and me ever got around to, if we ever got around to doing the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory remake, that's when I would try chocolate for the first time in 15 years.
I was gonna say, would you do it now on the show? But that's a way better idea.
I could do it now on the show.
No, I'd rather.
It's the 10th episode. It's a milestone.
That's what I was saying. I feel like you should try to.
This is the episode to change my life.
This could be the big one, man.
Should I?
I don't know. I mean, the Charlie and Chocolate Factory idea is pretty good. So this is your call. That
would mean I'd have to watch Charlie and the Chocolate Factory remake. I don't want to do that.
Do you know? I don't. Yeah, it's not a good movie, but sure. All right. Let's fucking
let's do this. Let's change my life.
This is
the weirdest.
No.
That's such a good streak. Don't break it.
Should we not break it? All right. Come sit back down. You're upsetting the audience. Some of these people are vegan. I don't know.
Why?
They're afraid of things. I don't know, man. Come back.
Well, she did speak, but
why? She did speak.
Why did she
broke the sound barrier.
Why did she not want me to try chocolate for the second time?
Don't point at me. This is your movement, man. I'm not part of this. I thought it would be a good bit.
All right. Do whatever you want, but that's such an awesome streak. Like,
don't point at me. Why are you pointing at me like I'm going to help you out with this? Stop pointing at me.
What do you mean streak?
15 years? I mean,
it is a long time.
It's a very long time.
Well,
I haven't eaten feces in 21 years, so I think
I was afraid you were going to say anything less than that and be like, all right, I'm good to go now.
This is some grade A comedy we're doing. Very Airplane 2, the sequel, 1982. I'm going to go get some chocolate real quick.
This is a milestone, folks. Look, Emma's actually upset about this. Emma actually has... Why does this bother you so much?
I'm so impressed by the streak.
What are you...
I'm so impressed that that I'm a stubborn person? Is that where
you're going through 2 different types of candies to get chocolate, and none of those bags have been chocolate bags. The first one were like... What the fuck? That was a really confusing set of bags that you had to jump through.
This is all the chocolate I got.
You're not gonna eat all of that, right? Like you'll throw up.
No, it's more of like, hey,
you should do it anyway, just in front of her.
You could share.
I'm not gonna. I mean, I don't want to. I'm gonna be very loud when I eat on this, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, eating on a podcast is not a good idea.
This is. I think you should do
change
it just
my life
because it's your whatever milestone. 15 years of not eating. She's gonna cry as soon as you take a bite into a Kit Kat bar.
Why are you more sentimental about this than I am?
I don't know. It's fine.
No, try to explain yourself here.
I've been waiting 15 years to do this. In kindergarten, I was like, hey, I'm gonna stop eating chocolate until I start a podcast. Get on the 10th episode, or do Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Or was it called Willy Wonka? It was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
The one with Johnny Depp? Yeah, that's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Stupid movie.
It's really focused on the Johnny Depp character, and it was called Charlie.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, so we got an array of chocolate here.
This is not a chocolate podcast. I don't know if you guys do this, but
Welcome.
I haven't had chocolate in 15 years, so now this podcast is going to be exclusively about chocolate and me.
We pretended that this was going to be a movie podcast for 9 episodes. It took 2 years, 2 years in the making, but now it's episode 10. We could finally reveal Chocolate Pod.
Chocolate Pod.
Cast.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So, what are we looking at, Michael?
I don't know, man. Like, you got... You got Milky Way, you got Snickers, you got Three Musketeers. I think Three Musketeers is pretty good. I think it's the only one here that I would like.
How would you rank these chocolates from favorite to least favorite?
Least favorite, Kit Kat. Easily.
Kit Kat?
Yeah, and then Reese's, then Snickers, then Milky Way, then Three Musketeers.
Okay, so what do you want me to try first?
What, is that backwards logic to you? So you do the opposite, Kit Kat.
Yes.
Which one?
Reese's are my favorite.
Reese's are okay. I just don't... It's just if you're going for chocolate, you'd want something more chocolate than that. You know, like Reese's is peanut butter and chocolate. I agree. Great mix. Sure. But not for someone who hasn't had chocolate in 15 years.
No, you gotta go Reese's.
What are you doing now? What is that, a napkin?
I started thinking, what if I really don't like it?
What if I drool over myself?
Yeah, what if I need to spit it out?
What if you throw up?
Oh God,
this is getting pretty.
I'm getting stressed. I'm more stressed about this than my final fucking project.
What's your final project now?
For the screenwriting class, I'm doing it right now.
You're doing it right now?
Yeah.
I did it a year ago. So.
Are you just turning in the one you did a year ago?
Yeah.
That's smart.
Of course.
It was your plan to not succeed.
It was the easiest. Yeah, I mean, this has been the easiest class ever. This has been one of the easiest A's. This was like a slam dunk. And all I had to do was turn in shit from like a year ago. So, if you need to get an A+ in college, kids, you fail everything. You fail everything the first time around. You go back, you turn everything in, and it's a guaranteed A fucking plus. I promise.
Is there a distinction between an A+ and an A fucking plus?
Wow. I've never, in the 15 years that I've been saying that sort of stuff, since kindergarten, I'm talking about this. I'm trying to answer this question.
Emma did not speak at all the first episode.
Yeah, well, that's fine. We
really pull up a chair.
We really brought her out. I'm so glad.
The chocolate talk really got
the chocolate stirred her up, man. She got triggered, and she was like, no fucking way they're silencing me for this. I must speak out.
So Reese's is your favorite.
Fuck yeah. It's so good. Do you like peanut butter? Thanks, man.
I thought you was wow.
I'm just glad.
You didn't even aim for her. You threw it at like the door. Okay, don't use the shoe.
I'm just glad it didn't land in the shoe. I felt really bad.
Bunch of weirdos I'm recording with. I mean, he threw it at the door, and then you used your shoe to row it back to you.
I was talking to the person in the doorway.
Spooky. But yeah. What are you looking over?
Sorry.
What are you looking over?
805-657.
For a good time, call 805-651-8272, folks.
And a second of silence for some editing points. And, so yeah, what should I eat?
We're still doing this?
This is a really bad idea.
Do you want to talk about Airplane 2 while we're doing this, or do you want to...
Yeah, we could do it throughout the conversation.
Okay.
Once again, don't have a 15-second plot snap. I don't know why I...
Do you want to try to do one? We tried to improvise it last time, remember?
Yeah, this might be easier.
Do you want to try it? Or try it again? I'll get my phone here.
How about...
God. Definitely. We'll just cut that out. Redact that.
We could both try to say a 15-second plot snap at the same time.
At the same time. Do you want to try that? That's insane, but alright, I'll do it. Alright, cool.
It's the 10th episode.
Dude, yeah.
How many times am I going to say?
We're doing some edgy shit for this, man.
We're professional.
Alright, so do you want to just try it? So it's the
Airplane
future,
guys
right? So now they're basically going into the future.
There's a mad bomber,
which gets all messed up.
They want to go on the moon, but they go into the sun. The sun's there, but they're like, we're just gonna turn around all of a sudden
and
done.
Gonna whiplash around and that was horrible. But I think it makes for great pod casting. So.
Thank you for the pause.
Do you like that? I did. I recognize it.
I appreciate the pause. So, yes, the year is 1982. Airplane 2, the sequel, full title. Where were you in 1982?
Where was I in 1982?
Yes.
All right, I call it Ground Zero, but I was at a bowling alley, right, in Memphis. And I was just hanging out with some buddies from... We were in the same platoon together in like 78. So we,
It sounds familiar.
You probably know what I'm talking about, right?
Well, I wasn't...
97th Division.
I wasn't in the platoon, but I feel like I've heard this.
All right, well, you get the... Yeah, I probably told this story. I tell the story when I get pretty drunk and sad. So, anyway, but we're hanging out...
Are you drunk and sad right now?
No.
Okay.
No.
Just checking.
I'm fine. Anyway.
I'm fine. It's that long pause that really doesn't seem fine.
Should try it. Do it.
I'm fine. So yeah,
Nice.
82. You were saying.
Oh, what was I doing in 82? I was smoking weed, dude. What were you doing in 82?
82. Oh man, I wish I had I wish I thought of something earlier before I asked this. Not thinking it was gonna.
Weed. That's what I said.
Man, but then I'd be copying you.
No, it's fine. Okay. That's fine.
I could come up
More
with
than one
else.
person can smoke
82.
weed.
No, only one person smoked weed in 1982. We all know this.
Well, yeah, and they directed this horrible movie, and it's not funny.
I was. This is great about, like, you ever been to an improv show and they're like, hold on a second, guys, let me just think about this.
That should be you. You should do that. Yes. You should join improv groups.
And yes. That's a classic yes and yes.
I thought you were going to say
improv rules.
No.
Yes, and you're wrong.
Oh. No.
Yes, and this isn't a bank.
What?
No, the joke there was...
Yeah, explain that, because I was...
In my head, I started a whole scene in a bank.
Sure.
And one of the improvers says, yes, and this is not a bank. So they're pretty much knowing the person.
Sure.
Knowing as in N-O, not K-N-O-W.
Sir, how much have you had to drink tonight before you start recording this podcast?
I drink 5 chocolate milkshakes. Is that okay?
Well, I mean, if those are the only ones you've had in 15 years, I think that'll clear.
No, I haven't had chocolate candy. I drink chocolate milkshakes every day.
Every single day?
Every single day.
That's
I'm
crazy.
drinking one right now.
Whoa.
Yes, and I'm drinking one.
I think you're mixing up two different things, milkshakes and an improv.
Oh, you know what? You're right.
Yeah.
And
and I gotta finish this milkshake.
That'll be $2.
That'll be $2.50. I already bought it. I don't know who I'm talking to anymore.
This is now an improv chocolate podcast.
Improv chocolate?
Improv chocolate.
So how do you, so you're improvising the chocolate?
Well, we improvise scenes and they take place in places like a chocolate factory or a chocolate store or a chocolate, a third chocolate place.
Okay.
A chocolate cemetery. That's where all the rappers go.
Oh my God.
Like Tupac. What?
That's not racist. All right, well, you could cool it with that, all right? The guy's trying to do a podcast, and you're fucking over here calling him a racist. Now, I have half a mind to go over there and fucking lecture you on statistics in the United States, all right?
Accidental racism, okay?
Black on black crime rates are some of the worst in the entire world here, all right? And he's simply just trying to draw some attention to that.
But thank you for pointing that out. I would not have caught it. That would have snuck right through all the higher-ups.
Now that I know I'm doing a podcast with fucking Hitler, dude, I don't feel very good.
I prefer Nixon, sir.
Yeah, he looks like Richard Nixon. I don't know, for all the people who want to know what Isaac looks like.
If you can't tell by my horrible drawing on the... if you couldn't tell on the horrible drawing on the cover art for this podcast.
No, that 10 is probably the coolest thing I've ever seen. I'm going to be honest with you. No, I'm serious, man. You can laugh and snicker and make all the little racial slurs you want, but that shit's well drawn, and I think it speaks levels about what this thing's about. Unlike the sequel to Airplane, which did not do any of those things.
Went full-fledged racism.
It went full frontal racism. I mean, like, the first joke in the movie was a racist joke. It was the van pulling up, and it was like...
It said, like, I ran
across something. It wasn't a pun about running.
And I ran so far away.
Nice. You know that song that he's written?
Do you want to sing it?
I don't remember the words besides that.
Yeah. You sure?
And I run so far away. That's all I have. You could have done that. Good. It would have been better, less racist, and it would have been better. It would have been better.
Yeah, if there's something we're striving for here on Franchise Mutiny, it's a little less racism. Not completely get rid of it. No. A little less racism.
A little less racism.
Gonna slap it back with a little less racism.
Slap it back. Yeah, a lot of racist jokes in this movie. Some of them are funny. Some of them are really stupid. I think I like myself a good racist joke from time to time, provided it's at least a joke and there's a punchline to it. Otherwise, you're just being racist.
Yeah.
It's a waste. Like, at least be funny about it. And that did a couple times. But overall, it was like just senseless. I mean, the whole movie was senseless. There was...
Yeah. But much more than the first one, I feel. This one... I don't know. The problem is that when they're throwing thousands of jokes at you and they're trying to deliver them, they throw it at you in the most confident way possible, and like every single one is supposed to hit, and when they fall flat, it feels
tiring.
Awful.
It's exhausting. It's actually exhausting when a joke does not land, and like I feel this like a life. Like, it's a great soul-sucking movie, because you just, every single time a joke doesn't land, you roll your eyes. It got to a point where we were towards the end of it, and we were just, like, out loud, like, making the same gasps of just, oh, god damn it, again.
They're selling it so hard, and it doesn't work. It doesn't even make sense. A lot of, yeah, I don't know. I'm losing words. Words are being lost.
Well, do you want to start at the beginning? I mean, I already talked about this. It opens with the racist joke, the van. And
Reese's? Did you say a Reese's?
No,
joke?
That's not my favorite. That's her favorite kind of chocolate.
You're saying I should eat a Reese's.
Do you want to? You haven't eaten chocolate in 15 years. Do you want to? Before we talk about her,
I haven't eaten anything in 15 years. So.
I've starved myself for 15
years.
And now this podcast. The 10th pod cast, right?
Thank you.
Got it. Nailed it.
Should I, or is this a dumb?
I think it's hilarious. I think it's fine. I mean, some civil rights activists will they'll make that face. They'll get mad. They'll get mad. But I think ultimately, whatever, man. What do you think, Emma?
I think she's pro Brussels sprouts.
That's fine. Brussels sprouts are good. Are you serious? They're so good. I love Brussels sprouts. Thanksgiving time. Great time to eat Brussels sprouts. Pancetta, mix in with that.
Toss away the turkey and just carve me up some of that Brussels sprout.
In so many ways, yes.
I clearly never had a Brussels sprout before. I'm like, yeah, carve me up a Brussels sprout. Whole family is going to share one Brussels sprout, and it's going to feed us. Oh, man, we're going to have so much Brussels sprout. We're going to have Brussels sprout sandwiches for days.
That's a little gross. That would get gross. I mean, every fucking day in the same kind of sandwich, that would get a little much.
Yes, and it would be awful, too.
Yes.
Yes, and...
Yes, and... Are we going to be doing... Do you want to do improv comedy for this podcast?
This is my audition.
This is your audition. We're going to submit
for any improv team. I'm gonna cut out the accidental racist part, and then yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, and of course. See, I know these rules. I know them so well.
Who's that? Bucket? Yeah, I don't know. The movie's just like opened up just all over the map. Yeah, are you gonna do it? Are you gonna? All right, fucking.
I'm gonna start with one.
Look at her. She's turning red. She's getting so worked up about this. She cares so much, dude. Look at her. She's boiling. She's actually getting hives from you just peeling the wrapper off.
Honestly, this is probably what my family would be like. Their reaction would be like, because I'm a very stubborn person that eats very bland things, and for them to see me today, they would be proud. Too bad they all perished in that fire.
That's funny. I'm kidding. It's hilarious.
Well, it's true.
Wow. Damn.
Yes, and
I think you're mixing up how the grieving process with improv comedy. Yes. I think you're getting them severely mixed up for this, and you're using chocolate as the coping mechanism.
Standing at the casket. Yes, and.
Yes.
Yes, and. Yes, and wake up.
Yes and wake up. Jesus, man. All right. Isaac, you turn this into a mortuary podcast.
Okay. So I like peanut butter. I think.
Sure. Yeah, I mean...
Sure, who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
So I feel like this is a good gateway chocolate.
Are you going to do that with...
every word.
Chocolate. I like that. Just lit.
Oh, yeah, because I'm a millennial.
Are you?
I guess. I don't know.
No, I'm a millennial.
You are.
I'm a millennial. You guys are cowards. Both of you.
What is the limit?
95 was the cutoff for millennials.
Okay.
Anything after that is Gen Z. Is it Gen Z? It's Gen Z, I think.
I'm 96.
Yeah.
Years old.
Alright, well then, what are you, fucking Airplane? You started, all your jokes have turned into Airplane 2 jokes since we stopped watching the movie. Are you concerned about this? Because I am.
I'm writing Airplane 3 right now.
This movie made you significantly more like a sequel than a real person. I just need you to know.
Oh, it's double digits. It's very important.
You follow numerology?
I'm eating chocolate.
You know what I'm saying?
What did you say?
Are you gonna eat this chocolate? I mean, everyone's sitting on the edge of their seats listening to this, and you didn't even get any. It's all peanut butter. I knew it was gonna happen. I fucking warned you, and you listen to this sprout over here. This sprout of a coward.
No, I should also mention I have a pretty weak stomach.
Are you gonna throw up after you eat this?
No, I think I should be good.
You mutilated that. I wish you could see this thing looks fucking mutilated. It looks like he smashed it before he took it out of the wrapper.
Like how many months has it been since Halloween?
It has been a while.
6, 7 months, 8 months, 10 months, 6 months.
What month is it right now? 4. It's been 6
months.
What
month is this 4? Are you gonna eat that mutilated piece of chocolate, or?
And I did only keep this for this occasion. I've been thinking about this for
15 years.
For 15 years, but also 8 months.
8 months. You take it. It's not his fucking birthday.
This is better than a birthday. This is better than every 15 fucking years.
That's true.
So you're saying I'm gonna try this 30, and then not do it until
for another 15 years.
Till I'm 36.
In 15 years, we're gonna reconvene, and you're gonna have another mini
Mo.
That looks like shit.
It looks like he got hit by a car.
There's barely any chocolate on it.
That's what I was trying to warn him about the fucking Reese's. If you're gonna get a chocolate thing,
we're talking way too much about this, so I'm gonna have to take a picture for the.
You're gonna have to take a picture. These people need to see how fucked up this thing looks. I mean, it's horrible, and you're gonna need to get pictures of Emma's fucking head.
But
I turned her into the Carl Pilkington of this podcast. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Emma. But I do think, for the record, that should be. So you should really do images for these. I think that'd be good.
Yeah.
Are you gonna eat that?
I'll eat it.
I mean, all right. Here we go. It's real shit now.
Do it, Isaac.
Did you?
Isaac!
Did you think when I first asked you to do this?
I'm sorry.
Do you think that when I first asked you to do this podcast, it would just be 2 people huddled around me as I eat chocolate for the first time in 15 years? Was that? Should I have said that out?
That's actually, I was going to say that is.
You know what?
You know what? Yes, and
this was on my roster of possibilities.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this was something where I'm like, I could totally see this guy having a weird quirk. Like, I haven't eaten chocolate in 15 years.
Yeah, the one quirk I have.
The one and only quirk.
I have everything else.
Smooth. Doesn't look like
good
this
conversationalist. Don't make people uncomfortable. This is.
Do you think you make people uncomfortable?
I feel like that's.
I don't think so. I don't agree with that at all. I think you make yourself uncomfortable.
And then I just emanate that.
Yeah, well, that's how I am. When I start overthinking myself, that's when the train wreck happens. Because you're thinking about it way too much, and you just get lost. I mean, people are gonna think what they think, no matter what. So it doesn't matter. But I'm just saying, like, the more you think about it, the harder it is to like just be cool with what's going on.
Very insightful. We'll be right back. And we're back. So I'm gonna eat this.
Are you gonna eat the chocolate? We're like an hour into this thing. We haven't barely talked about Airplane 2, and you're just continuing to squish this piece of chocolate.
It's melting in my hand.
It's like clumped.
This is my
it's
nightmare.
This is a mess.
I hate melty chocolate hands.
She's been trying to take a video of this for the past.
I'm gonna take all of her memory from her phone, just stalling. Okay.
Alright.
First time in 15 years. I'd like to thank the.
Go on.
It's made in Mexico. I'd like to thank the Hershey Company.
Nice.
For making this happen. I'd like to thank my parents for making me happen. And I'd like to rest in peace. And
rest in Reese's Pieces.
Thank you.
Eat the fucking chocolate.
Thank you. You know, E.T. They wanted to use M&Ms, and that's a fun fact I know, and no one else does. And that. Did you also know that that Jaws didn't work?
Jaws? What about
the shark didn't work?
The shark didn't work?
That's a fun fact only I know. It's a franchise Mutiny exclusive, so yeah,
wow.
You're welcome.
I'm very welcome.
I know very exclusive things about movies. Very hidden trivia. Here I go.
Oh God.
It's alright, take your time. I know this is a tough thing to ask of someone 15 years, like I'd be a little shaky myself too if it was.
Oh my God, you can't do this. It's
just throw us off. I don't want it. This is so bad. Oh, this tastes like my.
Oh God.
Who directed this movie?
I don't know. Ken Finkelman wrote it.
Okay, well, Ken Finkelman wrote it, but who directed it?
It's not great.
Chocolate or the movie?
The movie's bad. Chocolate, I don't know. It's not great. I mostly ate peanut butter.
Disappointed.
It's about what I remember, but I don't have that strong reaction of get this out of me.
Okay.
That I had. So yeah, a baby step.
Sure.
Yeah. You gotta learn to crawl before you could
you
walk.
took like a bite.
I took a tiny bite.
Finish the rest of that?
He's just holding a clump of peanut butter and chocolate.
I'm squishing it as I'm talking.
Yeah, you're just like
As a child, birthday parties were held. Chocolate cupcakes everywhere. What was I supposed to eat? I'm thinking ahead. I don't want to eat an entire chocolate and then eat 6 more.
Don't.
So I'm just gonna try one bite.
Don't do that. Yeah. Sure. I mean, eat what you have, right? No. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Put it down. Either way. Just pick a side. I don't care.
If I'm gonna try different chocolates, I don't want to eat all of.
Sure. All right. So you're doing like a sampler thing.
Yes.
Okay.
A bite of one. This is like a wine.
So you're gonna just have a bunch of mutilated pieces of chocolate at the end of it.
I'm gonna put it all on your side.
I'm
gonna
not
make you look at it.
I'm not gonna.
This is a weird bit.
We're trying to. That was me trying to record this. You need to chill out. I'm trying to do that.
So weird.
No,
I'm not proud.
I've never seen someone struggle so much with such a small piece of candy. I've never seen someone take this much time.
I'm not gonna finish eating it.
Fine. Sure, don't do it. But also don't.
Okay.
I don't know what to do with it now.
You're gonna eventually.
Just throw it away.
You could throw it away.
It's not wasteful.
Put it up here.
Oh, you should.
Then people are gonna look at it. That's weird.
Oh.
I'll eat this part because it's.
Are
you? And you're telling me I don't make people uncomfortable.
I'm not uncomfortable. Emma most certainly isn't uncomfortable. The audience is probably not uncomfortable.
So Pat Sajak was in this movie.
Pat Sajak was in this movie. That was hilarious. Do you need a trash can now?
I'll move the trash can
closer.
closer.
No, dude, I get it. I mean... Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
10 episodes.
Where's the trash can? Alright. So you're back. He's back, everyone.
I'm back.
In case you were, he was trying to figure out how to throw away a little piece of fucking peanut butter that I advised him not to eat from like the get. Yeah, no, I'm saying it. What was the one part of this movie that you were like, this was super, like the funniest part of the movie to you?
I don't know. There are a lot of cheap shots that I think work.
Yeah.
Like a lot of setup, and you're like, I know how this is gonna go, and then it goes, and you're like, okay, yay. Kid sits down with a sheet cake, and you're like, I wonder what's gonna happen. Is the face gonna hit the cake? And then it does, but you don't know how, and that's the clever part of it. These writers, well, the one writer, but he gets paid the big bucks, and that's what he gets paid for.
Did he get paid to write this? Do you know how much he made for this?
No.
He didn't do as much research on it, folks, and you shouldn't blame him.
I just got a new research team, so they're still figuring out like where things are in the office, the studio, and so they're getting accustomed to that. I didn't want to throw all the research on them this time. Very lightly research. Very.
Go on.
I was talking for so long, and it was going okay. And then I couldn't say very light research. But yeah, very light research in terms of Airplane 2, the sequel.
Horrible movie.
What worked for you?
What worked for me? Again, okay. There were some, a lot of the jokes, they're all on the nose. Like, that's the whole style of those kind of movies, like The Naked Gun and all this fucking very on the nose humor. And it worked. I think the biggest thing with this movie that killed it was somehow the pacing. I think it was the editing. Like, somehow the pacing was whack. And, like, the jokes they were not well framed or set up in the context of how they were cut. Like, it just didn't, there was no rhythm to a lot of the jokes. But there were some that maybe accidentally worked. But there was, like, the temperature one where it's like, what's the temperature at? And it's like implying that they're asking the temperature outside, and he's like, it's taking his temperature, and he's like, it's 99. Like, I don't know. It was quick, and it was a very balanced joke, meaning the amount of setup and the amount of punchline were equal to each other. So it was, to me, whenever that happens, like, you don't even notice the joke, and you're probably more engaged with it than you would like with some of those awkward ones that are like very imbalanced.
And the imbalanced ones kept coming back a lot.
Yeah, it was weird. They were like, they kept trying to force bits that weren't, like, the shaving one was the most noticeable. There were other ones, but the shaving one was the worst.
I don't remember that being a big thing in the first movie where they would just keep doing the same exact joke over and over again. I could be wrong. Yeah,
no, they did like the wordplay was very reoccurring, and it just was indifferent.
The pedophile thing came back a couple times.
The pedo thing was, but they didn't do that in this one. They made it weirdly about, like,
added a dog.
Your dog fucks. It's like, sure, okay, all right.
Yeah.
It's no weirder than implying you want to have relations with a young boy.
But there was a woman who had relations with a lot of people, including
a donkey. Now, in certain elite rituals, they have, I'm not going to name who or which organizations, of course, but the females in the said groups will, like, elope with a donkey in front of everyone else as like a ritual, and the men will usually have some kind of relations with a goat or a pig, depending on.
And do you think this movie was making a commentary on that?
Sure. I think
let's give it as much credit as we possibly can.
I think those things will trickle out anywhere and everywhere if it's a thing that happens. Like, people have always been having sex with animals. Like, that's always been a thing, and it's always been a thing that's very ritualistic or, like, taboo in nature. So it's, of course, going to be something we make fun of. So it's going to be in this. So of course it's connected, but I guess it's just up to you to decide on, like, the relevance of that or the importance of it. But yeah, a woman has sex with a donkey on not a plane. Let's talk about that. Not a fucking airplane. No. Okay, not an airplane, not a sequel. Alright, this is clearly a space shuttle going to the moon.
So this is a whole new franchise in your brain. This is no longer Airplane.
This is no longer Airplane. We are now in Shuttle. This movie was Shuttle.
Air Shuttle.
Air Shuttle. Space Shuttle? Air Shuttle sounds like something you'd take here.
Air Shuttle.
Like in Disneyland or something. Disney World. I don't like Disney.
What makes it not an airplane?
What do you mean, what makes it not an airplane?
What makes it not an airplane?
An airplane is designed... An airplane is designed to... It stays in the atmosphere. A shuttle or a spaceship does not. There's a difference. The difference is in just the design alone and the intention, or an airplane is...
I've also never heard someone say like, "Oh, that airplane just launched."
Yeah, exactly.
It's true, but like
you were just trying to be contrarian to stay. Yeah, go on.
The dictionary definition of an airplane, just thing with wings.
You know, she was struggling with this. You know, we should talk about this. She was struggling yesterday with this stuff because she thought fucking, what was it? I think she thought planes came before boats. That's what it was, or something like that. And it was really funny. It got you.
Really?
She's gonna strangle me. But it's not a plane. Like, it's not a plane, and like they cutting to a shuttle every single time. Like, its takeoff is a shuttle takeoff. Okay. And it's just really stupid. And it frustrated me.
Here is the definition of airplane.
Here we go. Alright.
A powered flying vehicle with fixed wings and a weight greater than that of the air it displaces. So
what?
A powered flying vehicle with fixed wings and a weight greater than that of the air it displaces. So it could be a shuttle.
But if you're in space, are you displacing air?
That is true.
Right? Yeah? Can we get
counterpoint?
Can we... Your witness?
I got nothing.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, that's my whole thing about this. That's my biggest gripe with this movie.
He rests his case.
The title lies.
And you're
the movie's
saying,
a lie. My life's a lie. Go on.
Real revelations
Yeah.
happening here on Franchise Mutiny. We'll be right back. And we're back.
Glad to be back here, Pat Sajak.
Yes. Pat Sajak. You were saying, and then you moved on to the definition of an airplane. You were saying something against Disney. That you're against Disney.
Oh, do you really want me to talk about that?
Yes,
I don't like Disney. I actually I grew up a huge... Shut up now. Alright, you made your choice, alright, to sit back over there and not participate. You know, and make snarky little contrarian remarks. She's trying to come at me, bro. She's trying to steal this podcast from us, dude. You can't let her. She's gonna try and take over.
You did this.
She's gonna try and take over this podcast, bro. Don't trust her. All right.
I'm so glad I could see and hear her now.
Yeah. She's a plant, bro. You need to be careful. She's a Russian plant. I'm telling you. She's gonna ruin. Yeah. See. Anyway, Disney. I grew up really liking Disney. I thought, I loved Walt Disney's story, and I wrote about it for the class because I was always fascinated with, because everyone's always like, oh, there's no interesting way to tell Walt's story, and it's like, well, that's not true. It's just, there's no way Disney would ever let you tell an interesting Walt Disney story. Yeah. Like, there's just no way. And there's, like, I don't know, like, the guy had a fascinating business, but, like, ultimately, it's a business of pure, like, I mean, it's pure capitalism. It's always... So it was the forefront of major gentrification, and it helped invent the suburbs. You know, like Disney was a big, like, helped design how most of middle America would live. And, like, I think in a lot of ways that created more racial tension and like, economic tension between classes. And, you know, on top of that, like, there's a lot of, you could read into a lot of the sexual nature of, like, how the kids in, like, the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse and, like, a lot of those Disney Channel stars, there's a lot of sexual abuse in there, and there's a lot of, you know, let's just say scandalous ways of bringing up these young stars, and I think Nickelodeon and Disney are both big perpetrators of that, sort of being an issue. So there's a lot of different things about it, and I just think the business ethics of Disney is, like, it's concentrated capitalism. Like, you can't, nothing nothing ever comes good. Nothing good ever comes from a concentrated ideology ever, you know. And Disney's as friendly and magical as it is, it's manipulative, you know. And it's
so. Are you saying that most of the problem is because they try to sell themselves as such a high, family friendly? We're the good guys.
Well, that's actually probably the scariest part of it. Is that's what they market. Like the scariest part is they're not open to being anything really more than that, and that's kind of like, well, I don't really like or trust something that isn't willing to be fully human, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know? So, and also I don't trust something that isn't transparent in business ethics and in terms of how it treats its people and, you know, how it, you know, we could go on and on with this.
Yeah, no, I think it's interesting, the idea that they want you to forget certain things, and they'll go to great lengths to, even with like just some of the content they make.
Yeah,
they'll edit things out because they're like, that was a mistake.
Saving Mr. Banks. Did you see that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, we haven't talked. We should actually. I'd love to talk about that movie, like thoroughly review that movie, because I was really hyped for that. I knew they were gonna, of course, like edit some shit, you know.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I was curious to see how they would portray Walt and like what boundaries they would push. And of course, they played it pretty safe, and they didn't really.
Tom Hanks. He's not gonna.
Tom Hanks is Walt Disney. Okay,
it's the most like. Yeah.
This like they're trying to really bait you to not shit on that character. Yeah. It's a guy playing a guy. Both of them are untouchables.
Yeah. No. As a movie, I really liked Saving Mr. Banks, but I did not go in thinking this is the true story. I'm gonna uncover things. I'm like, this is a product, a Disney product. I'm going to enjoy it. And I did. It's a good review. Thumbs up.
Nice.
Can do the Ebert. This is cool. Rest in peace, Same Fire.
Wow. You said this was in Waco, Texas? And was that what it was? Yeah, there's a little bit of that conspiracy thing he was describing about me earlier. I was referencing Waco, Texas.
Yeah.
Do you know what about, having in Waco? I'm not going to tell you here.
Check out Waco on the Paramount Network. Wednesdays on...
It's all disinfo, people. Wake up. The truth will never be revealed unless you seek it out.
Did you watch that show?
Huh?
They did a...
I saw it. It wasn't... I mean, it was fine. Again, a lot of this stuff, what comes into question is never really addressed. It's always kind of... I mean, even when they did the ABC documentary or, like, the segment, whatever they did recently... Like, it didn't cover anything about, like, okay, here's the conspiracy side of it. Like, they just showed, here's some crazy people that go on YouTube and they make videos. Don't trust this. It's propaganda. And it's like, well, wait, you're bigger, better propaganda. Like, that's all that is. Like, you're not any better than that news source in terms of content, just in terms of budget and, I guess, marketability, accessibility. I don't know.
That's the kind of thing I'm trying to exploit with my major, and I'm going to get people, and I'm going to get them good.
Nice. Because that should be your goal, is to just trick everybody. Dude.
Yeah.
That's totally what people should do.
I could just flat out say this, because our listeners...
your low IQ listeners.
So dumb.
I bet your listeners would laugh at every joke in Airplane too, dude. Every single one. I bet they'd just hysterically crack up.
Every single one, but going through the end credits of this, and they're showing like all the names of the people, and they're showing like the highlights of the movie, the best jokes of the entire movie.
Is that what they were trying to do? Those weren't the best jokes of the movie. Those were horrible jokes.
It seemed like they were doing like, remember this guy from this gag?
Right. Okay.
But we did not laugh at any of those. No, it was like William Shatner's talking behind glass, and you think it's a television, but it's not. He's just behind glass.
He started, I thought that bit was kind of funny. Like his entrance, like when they first introduced him, was pretty funny. But as it went on, like I got annoyed. It was one of those things where it's like, why is this even a reoccurring bit? Like you just had him on. Like he shows up at the last, like not even last third of the movie, like the last 10, 15 minutes of the movie. and he's just not funny. It's not funny, and it's just weird.
What was his thing? Was he just annoyed, or he was just angry? Like, because it seemed like he didn't have any sort of, even like a broad sense of a character. It was just, the script needs this joke.
It was
so he's going to ignore everything that's happening behind him, or he'll act mad right now.
Well, he was basically the same character as the other guy. What was his name? The one with I forget their names. He kept putting cigarettes out in the cup, and the other fucking idiot would drink it or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, tastes funny, you know.
And then he tries to move the cup the next time, but he keeps putting it back in the same position. He doesn't learn.
But Shatner was basically that guy again.
Yeah,
like they had
but in a different location.
It was like two of the same characters. Well, they doubled up on a lot of the same things in this, like same jokes from the first movie. Yeah. They padded the plot way too much. Like the conflicts were like there were 3 or 4 conflicts, I think, to try to end the movie, and like every single one was resolved way too fast and way too like rushed, and like even like if you could have made them funnier, you could have made them jokes. They weren't jokes. They were just, oh, we can turn around now suddenly, or oh, we just suddenly got rid of the bomb. And this, like, there was no jokes. There was nothing. I'm not well, dude.
Sorry, that caused me.
Are you okay?
That caused me to snicker. Should I try a Snickers right now?
Are you? I mean, you can try fucking. He's gonna eat the chocolate again. I mean, I guess you'll get more chocolate than you did with the other thing.
Sure. So yeah,
we're gonna make Isaac diabetic by the end of this thing.
What is it?
Episode 11, we'll be injecting my first EpiPen.
You get insulin on the.
What is he eating now?
He's having a Snickers. You're not you. When you're now you're coming over. So you only come over here when he's eating.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's exciting.
And the rest of this pod isn't. We're talking about Airplane 2, the sequel.
It's a great movie.
1982 classic.
Rip Torn's in it. Rip Torn is in. He
takes place in the future.
I hated that. The future. It was like, when in the future? We all like ride space shuttles.
The old people were talking about they're at Woodstock. That's why I was like, when the fuck did
they didn't even play with the timeline.
They didn't help explain the time, because it was basically the future, like after the events of the first movie. That was all the joke really was it's just after the events of the movie. That was really, and so it set up where it was like there's nothing really more to it than that, and as a result you're more confused than you are amused.
I thought it was gonna be every joke after was just gonna be like, oh, remember that thing that didn't happen, like just like Futurama style jokes. Mm-hmm. And then no, it was just like it could have taken place like 5 minutes after, except for the space.
Now, see, that would have been, if they had emphasized that angle a bit more, it probably would have been funnier. Like, I like that idea of, oh, it was just been 10 minutes and now suddenly we're in the future. Like, I do think if they'd played that up more, that would have been like, that's funny. That's funny to me, but they didn't really do that. They just kind of loosely, like, they set all these things up, and then they didn't really play with them in terms of making them actual jokes, and they didn't really play with them in terms of making them relevant plot points. They were just more of like, here's this for like to fill this 10 minutes of the movie. Here's this now to fill like 5 minutes of the movie. Here's this to help kind of. Well, that's kind of what it all felt like, and the jokes were everywhere. I mean, they were everywhere. It could have been anything from physical comedy to some weird psychological implied. I don't even know. Like, you know what I mean?
It could have been that they did the whole movie and they're like, oh yeah, they go into space, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then someone in post was just like, we can't go to space now, right? Like, you know what? I think you're right. That was the overlook for us. Let's just say the future, and then we're covered. Because I feel like there should have been some sort of decision making, some sort of choice with that. When you're going with the future, it just ended up being like, oh, the dad's like, oh, we got to go to the moon because I raped someone. And he told his son that? That was the joke? I didn't even
realize that was the whole... Oh, you're right. Yeah. I didn't realize that was the only reason they were going there, though. I thought there was something else padding it. I thought the kid wanted the dog to be on the moon. Like, that was kind of the thing where it's like, oh, I want my pet to be on the moon. Isn't that going to be lit?
Is that the same kid?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It didn't matter.
But there was some weird rape joke in there that he's like...
all the sex jokes are weird. I mean, all of them are strange, and they were all kind of like lewd. And I mean, that's fine, because that's just the world we live in. But I mean, Liz, what? It is. You guys want to really... I mean, we'll do this. We'll talk about this. We talk about it.
So you're saying Airplane 2 is grounded in realism, in just human...
yeah.
In a sense that we're all
lewd and depraved.
We're all doing the
special.
Yeah. So what is in a Snickers?
What is in a Snickers? I mean, you can read. I can read this off to you if you want. We got. Here is allergy information. Contains peanuts, milk,
allergic to that.
Egg and soy.
Allergic to that. Should
may
be good.
Contain tree nuts.
That will kill me. Okay, good.
That will absolutely kill me. That's all I got for you, buddy.
Okay. Isn't there like a caramel goo in there?
Well, that was just the allergy one. I don't know what else
is the caramel goo.
The goo.
Caramel goo.
The caramel goo.
Caramel goog.
The goog. Oh yeah, you don't. I don't really want to tell you the origin of that joke because it's mean spirited in nature, but like it's funny for this podcast. The goog.
Were you gonna eat that?
I got lost.
We had a librarian with a lazy eye, and her last name was something Goog. So they always called her the Goog, because googly eye. Get it? She had a lazy eye. That was the...
It offends me as a person with a lazy eye.
Do you have a lazy eye? I thought it was...
I don't know.
Lazy
sometimes
fucking mindset. That's what it was.
Someone with a lazy eye. Do you have a lazy eye?
I'm sorry. I'm not
know.
trying to. I've been extremely mean to you tonight, and it's just merely been for the amusement of these listeners. Like, it's nothing personal. I respect you most of everything you stand for.
Everybody is gonna call me Brussels sprout now.
That's fine. You know what? I would prefer being called a Brussels sprout than my name.
The listener won't remember. They're too dumb.
He's really been on this.
You've
been on the offense of making.
I've been
sure
on the offense.
You think your audience. You really don't like your own audience.
Because I am the audience.
You are the.
I'm the only one that would listen.
You listen to this.
It's me and then one other person who's also been on here.
Well, I listen to the ones on your YouTube channel. I listen to them. Not all of them.
I'm subscribed to you. I'll listen to them. That's like 3 people right there.
Great.
That are all gonna think I'm a Brussels sprout. And that I fucking suck.
That's all she's worried about. She doesn't care about your art, bro. Don't buy this. She doesn't care about your voice. She just cares about her fucking her clout.
Listener IQ just went up a bit between subscribers. Thank you.
Why? Because they had to think about him being a Brussels sprout.
No, because she's gonna listen now. She's gonna be one of the listeners now. IQ's gonna go up.
Oh,
boom.
I see.
Did you hear this?
I hear
you. You should take notes about how to be nice to me.
I want to formally apologize to the artist known as M on this pod.
Yeah. That's...
Cass. Yeah.
Okay, so there's
Are you going to eat this chocolate now?
There's a caramel thing. This thing is barely holding itself together. What is it? Are there layers?
Peanuts and caramel.
Okay. So like a cookie thing? No cookie.
No cookie thing.
No cookie.
Now I remember the ads for this when they're like, "Hey, nobody lay a finger on my Snicker fingers."
Nope, that is a completely different product.
What?
You're talking about Butterfinger.
Butterfingers?
Pretty sure.
No, I'm pretty sure there's some, and the guys in the office, and then the other coworker reaches for his Snickers bar, and then he staples his hand, and blood's gushing out, and he's like, "No." Nobody's gonna lay a finger on my Snicker fingers. Anyone feel free to eat chocolate.
I don't know. I told you I'm not gonna eat during the podcast because personally,
it's unprofessional.
Last time I was really
loud. You wouldn't stop eating. You were like,
you were like, please stop, and I was like, all right, I'll stop. I just kept eating. Like,
death stare.
I was. Are you gonna eat that or not?
It's much more chocolatey.
It is. He's so scared to eat it. He's like afraid it's gonna explode or something or kill him.
It's been 15 years, Michael.
The sounds are grossing me out, and it's my sound.
Put it right up to the mic. Did I get it confused with something else?
What are you talking about?
Is there peanuts in there?
It was like a cookie thing.
I don't know.
I don't know. Did I eat a Snickers?
I don't know. Which ones were ones with the peanuts and the caramel?
There's a peanut in there.
I thought that was a Snickers too. I thought Snickers had peanuts in them.
No, that's a Milky Way.
Which one's Milky Way? Aren't they all the same?
With the caramel that just like pull like it just like it's like a huge ass string of caramel when you eat it. All right.
I don't know.
All right. You like it?
I think I like the Reese's peanut butter a little bit better. Yeah.
Seriously, you complained about that like the entire time. You didn't even finish eating it, and you like that more.
All right,
try that bite.
I don't think you should be eating chocolate.
Years, man. You didn't say that.
I shouldn't have supported this. I don't think I know, but only now do I see what a waste of time.
It's so good.
You know what? Second bite, I like it.
You know what? 10 episodes in, I like it.
Second bite, and that's really the message I'm trying to give here. Take a second bite, people.
Sure.
You try something once, you don't like it, that's okay. Try it again. You might like it the second time.
And if you don't like it the second time?
You should just end your life.
Wow. That seems to be...
there's a theme.
That seems to be... Yeah, I've been told that a lot lately.
Because
I don't know if someone's trying to fucking kill yourself.
Because I'm really great at improv, and that's the thing I always jump to. Anyone who's good at improv will tell you. Straight to kill yourself.
Yes, and kill yourself.
Good. Yes, and kill yourself.
Man,
a little bit.
Improv is hard.
No, it's not.
All right.
You know what's hard? Writing a funny script. Okay, that's fucking hard. Let me tell you, listeners, about Group d'Etat. All right, super unfunny.
Is this the time and place?
This is one of the unfunniest productions you'll ever see, directed and written by myself. It's horrible. No one has laughed in all 3 screenings.
How many people have you showed it to?
Just the class. Yeah, it's like 30 people. And nobody, every single time we play it, it's like it gets quieter and quieter. And people are like less interested in it each time. It's a real fucking killjoy, dude. It's a lot like watching Airplane 2 over and over and over again. It's a lot of the same thing. Go on. What do you have?
So you've seen other people's stuff.
Yeah.
And those got reactions from...
I think so. I think every other comedy that was shown had like more laughs than, like 100%.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. I joke about it a lot, which probably isn't great, but it's fine. Like, it's just part of the game, I guess. You know, it stings, but you know, everything's gonna sting.
You know what you should do?
Huh.
You should take a second bite.
Yeah. Well, you know
That's
what?
The theme of
that's some deep shit right there.
Yeah.
That got really deep there, Isaac.
Take a second bite.
That's wise, man. And you know what I'm going to? It's gonna be delicious.
Remake. Straight remake.
Blake and I the guy who's editing
same script.
Actually, yeah. I mean, we were talking about maybe redoing it down the road. I think that would be fine. You can reprise your role.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like that. You'd be sick.
Now I feel like I have explaining to do if my parents ever found out about this pod. I was in your short film.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that because I don't really do much around my family, and they would be shocked that I
really?
would partake in anything creative or...
Well, he's in college now, folks, so... Yeah. All right, Isaac's got a brand...
I'm experimenting, I'm eating chocolate now, I'm a new man.
This is his version of being a lesbian. Voice. Like, that's what this is.
Mom, Dad, I have something to tell you.
I'm a lesbian. Eats a piece of chocolate. Son, I don't think you really understand. No. You don't understand me.
Complete lesbo.
Complete lesbo. Okay. I don't think you're aware of how gay this is about to get. Continues to eat chocolate. Isaac, no, let's not.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, dude, I'd love to put you in more stuff. I think you should be in some other stuff down the road. I do. I mean that. I do.
I'd be happy to do it.
Yeah, you should write more. I think you should try to write better than me. That should be your goal. Because you could easily... That's an easy goal.
Oh my god,
it's true. Goal. Dude, I'm trying to... It's supposed to be like inspirational or whatever the fuck.
That's not inspirational.
You don't feel like inspired by that?
No, I feel like at different points we've been very self-deprecating.
Wow,
and
that's is just the name of the game, isn't it? Right?
No. Name the pod. No? Self-dep.
You don't think so? You don't like being self-deprecating? You don't find that?
I don't like hearing other people be self-deprecating.
That's the best part, is when you hear other people doing it, because you're like, I do that. I know what you're doing right now. Stop it, type of thing. But it's like at the same time, you feel good knowing that you're not alone in that struggle. Fucker. Me? Yeah, alright. You've been trying to come at me.
Yeah, you feel good about yourself? What kind of crazy person are you?
I didn't say that.
I'm gonna stop directing all my disliking of myself. I'm gonna just put it. I'm just gonna take
okay.
it. That's what we're gonna.
I'm fine with that.
No, I see now. That's you probably would want to be a punching bag. That's horrible. That's even worse in my opinion.
Well, someone's taking a shower. No, self-deprecation. I don't know. It's just easy. It's like the most insecure thing you could do, because it's pretty much, let me punch myself before you could punch me.
Yeah, it's very selfish. It's very low life. It's the lowest form of flattery.
And I am so low for doing it. I'm the worst. You're I hate myself for being so self-deprecating. It's the worst thing about me, and I'm surprised anyone even talks to me.
Yeah, you're getting it. Airplane 2, dude. Great movie.
Speaking of
self-deprecating.
Hating myself.
Yeah.
Airplane 2. Yeah, it's...
So how much of this is the same movie as the first? Like, if you were to say now, percentage-wise, how much of this is just the first movie?
I'd say maybe 20-25%.
Really?
Which is still a lot.
Well, it's not as much as... I thought you were going to say more than that. I thought you were going to say it was closer to 50.
A lot of barely changing a joke, which comedy sequels are never really good. How many good comedy sequels are there? It's been tough, I think.
Hold on, Beverly Hills Cop. I thought it was a sequel. That was where it was. No, maybe not. Am I thinking of a different movie? Was it Lethal Weapon? I'm thinking of. Was that a comedy?
But both of those kind of feel like they're veering.
They're not as
towards different genres.
Right. Well, then you could say the same about The Hangover. Then no, I didn't like The Hangover 2 though. That was bad. But like,
not a fan of any.
Oh yeah, okay. I guess you're right. I can't really think of anything that was Shrek 2.
Christmas Vacation.
Yes.
Shrek
Christmas
2.
Vacation.
No,
Shrek 2.
No, Shrek 2.
Shrek 2 is a good one.
Yeah, I do really like Shrek 2, and I'm upset that Shrek kind of became an internet thing, and now you can't really...
I embrace it. Shrek is love.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing I'm talking about.
Do you hear that Shrek impression over there?
Can you do a little...
Can you do that Shrek impression again for
last episode, silence. This episode, Shrek impression.
Hey,
we're stepping up. You could next time, pull a chair.
Then what?
Pull 3P pod. Cast.
Never smoke weed, Isaac. Never ever smoke weed.
And I should clarify, I didn't.
No, we know. But I'm deeply concerned after that.
I'm telling my parents.
That was like a blizzard or something. A deadly blizzard that we flew into.
What I'm trying to say is, Mom and Dad, I'm pretty creative. 3P pod. It's pretty creative.
I came up with that. This is my pod. So, I don't know. Cast.
Oh, Cast, yeah. Thank you. Phew, we're going to get full-on letters being sent in saying you didn't say cast, and they're going to be angry. They're going to cancel the show.
Why would you accept letters?
I did for a couple episodes say, please email me. That was a weird mistake.
Did you get any emails?
No, I think I only said that in Spy Kids in the Back. For some reason I thought, yeah, I want people to email me.
No? You think you got spam or something?
Well, I didn't get anything, but really liked it.
Hey, Isaac, it's me. I just thought...
You're the worst.
You're the worst. Hey, you were being real self-deprecating today, you piece of shit. I wish you cut that fucking nonsense out.
Also, try chocolate. It's not that bad.
Yeah, stop fucking worrying about chocolate. Just eat it. People think you're cooler. Love.
Also, try weed.
Also, never try weed. Your brain is a fragile gem as it is. Don't smoke weed. Hugs and kisses, Isaac.
So, what would your prediction be on if I were to smoke weed?
If you were to smoke, I have speculations for both of you in terms of what it would be like. No, hold on now. All right, it's we'll start with you because this is.
You're pointing to Isaac.
Isaac is the first one I'm pointing.
We'll start with you.
Could be anyone. It could have been me I was pointing at for all you new audiences. I don't know. I think you'd probably be like hella paranoid. You'd probably laugh for like either the first half or the second half, and then you'd be extraordinarily paranoid the second half or the first half. It's one of those two, but it'd be like it'd primarily be paranoia and then just like an overwhelming sense of like euphoria, just like laughing and shit. I think that would, and you'd probably last for like 3.5 to maybe 4 hours. Yeah, and you probably would be. I'd imagine you'd be paranoid first because you probably would be like, "Oh my god, I can't think. I'm like paralyzed. I can't really move. I feel stupid. Like my brain's not working." So you probably would freak out at first, and then like as you got into it, you'd probably just think everything's funny as shit.
Okay.
So that's you.
And Emma.
Emma, I really, it's funny, I think you just, like, would talk a ton. You'd be super weird. I think you'd be super weird. I really do. I think you'd be, like, a weirdo. Not in a bad way. I just think you'd probably feel a little bit more, like, free. You probably wouldn't freak out. I don't know, maybe. But I don't think it's as likely. I think you'd just be, like, a weirdo. Or you could get deep. You might get deep, too. That would be cool. But... That's what I got.
That was the...
Did you guys get that, audience? Did you get that? Did you see there's...
That was our latest segment.
What type of smoking stone are you?
I think that's the next step. I tried chocolate this time. Maybe next time, weed.
One of these days, dude.
One of these.
Definitely, I mean, just, be ready. Anyway... Airplane 2, dude.
Airplane 2. So...
What else we got?
What do you think they should have done to make it an okay comedy sequel? Oh, we're talking about comedy sequels in general.
Well, are you sure you want to ask me this question? Alright.
You haven't made a comedy sequel yet.
I haven't made a comedy yet. So... Alright. No, that one I have... That was funny. Okay? I needed to say that. That was fine. What would I do differently? I don't know. I think the biggest thing that annoyed me with this is it wanted to be Spaceballs, and I'm not sure when Spaceballs came out. I can't remember if it was before or after. I think it came out after this.
I think so.
So they probably saw Airplane 2, and they're like, wow, we
could do so much better.
But yeah, and they did. Like, that movie was I think Spaceballs is pretty funny. But I think they probably should just, like, either... and totally embraced the space future thing, but they probably didn't have the budget for that, in which case the sequel could have easily been, like, I don't know, they could have done, because they flash back to the court case, and that seemed like that could have been its own movie. It seemed like that could have been a fine sequel. They could have done a bit where, like, they had to do the court trial in the plane or some stupid shit, like, I don't know. there's and you could have easily done a bit where now they're doing international flights instead of the future. They could have scaled it down if there was a budget issue, and that would have been funnier. I think it would have been. I don't know. I would have liked that more than this.
So you're saying they went too large, but at the same time they didn't do anything with it.
I think if you were gonna go that large, you should have fully embraced it. Like, they only lightly made fun of things. Like, they a little bit made fun of Star Wars, and made a little fun of Star Trek, they made a little fun of
E.T.
Space Odyssey and E.T.
Yeah, 2001 was a.
They tried to do the HAL thing, and of course, and that wasn't funny. HAL, there was no joke to that aside from, it's a sentient robot just deciding to be a dick for the sake of plot. Like, I don't know. Like,
Mission Impossible reference.
Oh yeah, that was weird too. There was just, I don't know. So to me, you could have either gone full space opera spoof bit thing, or you go full, like, I don't know. It could have been a space program, but it just, I don't know. The execution of it was weird and unclear. Mm-hmm. I didn't understand a lot of the jokes.
Yeah, I think, so the first Airplane was a spoof of a pretty specific movie, 0 Hour. I believe it's called 0 Hour. Okay. And it's basically the exact same plot as Airplane. Mm. And so they just, it was almost a direct spoof. This movie is a sequel to a direct spoof, and it's not directly spoofing anything. Except for, I think you can make the case for 2001: A Space Odyssey.
I was going to say, they should have just embraced that more, and they didn't.
But that also seems like it doesn't fit along with the first one, because the first one, 0 Hour, is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of this cheesy genre. I don't know, 2001 seems too, like, high up, like, quality-wise, to be punching at it. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know.
Well, they still tried.
They still tried, and oh boy, when the computer thought it was going to get blown by Julie Haggerty, what a grand old bit.
That would have been fine.
It made a smiley face on the computer screen, and the jokes. The jokes. And Julie Haggerty, I think, did a good job.
The gorgeous woman. Beautiful woman.
Yes, her reactions to things and the way she would deliver her lines is so just unique in comparison to everyone else. Because everyone else seems to have the same tone in the way they speak. And it's just... All right. Hers was kind of nervous, anxious, but I don't know. She seemed to be doing her own thing, where everyone else is just recycling old stuff, or just like, I gotta say the setup to this joke, and then...
That's true. That's how it did feel kind of scripted a lot of times with them, in terms of, like, William Shatner for sure. The one dude who's the main character, Stryker's character, very much so, felt scripted. And I think because he was a main character, and this is actually a problem I had with the first Airplane, was I always felt like his character was... It felt more scripted than, like, awkward and improvised, or, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I always thought that he was kind of the weaker points to that first film, and he definitely is for this. Like, I think he's just a doof. There's nothing to really relate to him. There's nothing particularly funny about him, aside from the fact he's boring, and he tells really long stories. But that's, I don't know, that joke even gets exhausted.
Yeah. No Leslie Nielsen in this one.
Yeah, instead they have Peter Graves. Weird, because you'd think Peter Graves would be a little bit higher on the bill than fucking Leslie. But then again, Leslie had the Naked Gun suit. But so Peter Graves had, what did Peter Graves do? Did he do, what's the one? I don't know. Never mind. There's like the spy one. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Top Secret?
No, they made it a movie like a few years back with the fucking Rock and Anne Hathaway. Do you know what I'm talking about? The Rock. Get Smart. Get Smart.
Oh.
Was he in Get Smart?
No.
Yeah. Or I don't know if it wasn't.
Was he? No. Was he in Mission Impossible? What was Peter Graves in? You don't know. You don't care who Peter Graves is.
Mission Impossible. Oh, so that's why they made the Mission Impossible
Yeah,
joke.
yeah. Okay, I was gonna say he was in one of those things.
He was also in the first Airplane, so it's not like.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He was still the pedophile in the first one.
Yeah, weird dog jokes that weren't really jokes. They were just like, "Hey Billy, you ever like when your dog humps you?"
Tries to, yeah.
Billy, yeah, you think it's weird how dogs smell each other's asses? Weird, right? It's like, sure, yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
What's the joke?
The kid just has no reactions.
Yeah, the kid's just like staring, waiting for the director to call cut. He's just like waiting for the cue so he can get away from all these pedos.
Just waiting for him to hand my dog back, and then yeah, no. If they had Leslie Nielsen, I feel like that would take him up a notch because I love Leslie Nielsen.
I don't know. Leslie Nielsen can be unfunny. I've seen him in stuff where I'm like, this isn't funny.
But he has such a. His delivery is so serious, yet he's saying the stupidest things or stupid things are happening to him, and he even the really bad spoof movies that he was in, like in the last years of his life, like Scary Movie 3 and 4 and superhero movie and stuff.
He was in a lot of trash.
He all horrible garbage, but he would at least have. And he looked the same since like 1980 or. Yeah, when the first Airplane came out. Just the same gray hair. And then...
Yeah, he did always look the same age, like, every single movie. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. This movie was awful. Jokes were everywhere. Was this the same guy who wrote the first movie? He was a different writer, wasn't it?
I think it was a different writer.
It probably was.
I know that... Because I think the Zucker brothers...
Oh, yeah, it was this... Yeah, no, you're right. The Zucker brothers were the ones to do the first one.
Yeah, it was written by David Zucker, Jim Abrams, Jerry Zucker. So, yeah, those people who also did, like, Top Secret and other stuff.
Right.
Naked Gun, probably. This time, Ken Finkelman. Finkelman.
Fecal matter?
Ken Fecal Matter.
Ken Fecal Matter.
Can you fecal matter?
What?
Can you Finkel matter?
Finkel?
Can
I Finkel matter?
Matter? Yeah. Can you Finkel matter?
You mean like, can I play with matter?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I Finkel with matter a lot. Yeah, turn that off, please.
Yeah,
we're trying to quiet on set.
Don't want to get any copyright strikes, okay?
Well, what else is there? What other points are there?
Well, there's a Three Musketeers. There's a Milky Way.
All right, you're still on the chocolate thing. This man ate chocolate for his 10th episode anniversary.
10th episode anniversary.
Yeah.
So Pat Sajak was in this. I don't know why.
Yeah,
he wasn't at the level of Pat Sajak. Yeah, he was hosting Wheel back then.
He was on Wheel, yeah. He's been on Wheel since, 78, 70 something. He's been on a long time. Wheel of Fortune's been on a long ass time. Okay.
This is gonna sound
Doesn't pick anything up, just...
Okay, I'm eating this. I don't know.
Was that a pen? He's gonna eat a pen. Wow, he's eating the pen. I'm just kidding, he's not, but...
So, what do you know about Three Musketeers?
Nougat, Ted Nugent. That's all I got. Is there a sign off we got to do, or how do we do this?
This is gonna be the last chocolate I try.
He's gonna eat this last chocolate here.
Third, final. Rules of 3, comedy rules.
They didn't do that. They didn't make a third Airplane movie.
You sure about
Is
that?
that a threat? You sure about that?
Are you sure?
You sure about that?
They did.
Did they?
Airplane 3? Where are they gonna go from space?
They never did.
The Oblivion.
With Tom Cruise?
They go into like a particle accelerator and they travel through the universe.
They Finkel with matter.
Do you like that, Emma? Do you think that's a world-class joke? Emma, everybody. She wrote this episode.
Scripted the whole thing.
Scripted the whole thing beginning to end. There was a transcript for us. We were not allowed to go off script even once tonight.
Preemptive transcript.
She wrote this part in too.
Yeah.
This part we're saying right now, we had to like...
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
I wish she wrote my lines of dialogue better, but who cares? Words.
Why did she write that in there for
I don't know.
That was a weird choice.
It's getting very meta.
Yeah.
It's now she's analyzing the words she wrote.
I think she became schizophrenic at this part of the script. I think that it actually became some kind of psychological breakdown.
Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts.
She wrote like a weird character arc for me that I haven't eaten chocolate in 15 years. Yeah. That's so weird.
She keeps calling me a piece of shit, unfunny. Like she's like
she keeps making you say it too. That's the most demeaning thing about it.
I've been so mean to myself tonight, and like I can't believe she wrote these lines and like this. Like she clearly has some sort of issue against
she hates. I
some
don't know
vendetta.
I don't know if she hates us or the pod or both. Cast and.
We got to start doing that every time we do an episode where you do the pod thing. You just pause and wait, and then like try to insert it.
I also said words in between.
Yeah, you got to do that.
Cast.
All right. Well, are you gonna?
What is a nougat?
It's like I don't know, bro. Can you look that up? Can you quickly give him a dictionary?
A 15-second plot synop of nougat.
A candy made from sugar or honey, nuts, and egg white. It's very controversial.
Does it make you nervous?
Controversial?
Yeah, some people really fucking hate nougat. Some people love it. You can only do one or the other.
It's good to know that I'm going to be alienating some of the audience depending on my opinion of it.
You're going to divide everyone, bro. Yeah. Trust me. This is a hot topic you're trying to touch on. There's a mad bomber on board. The first lunar shuttle is about to self-destruct. The engines are not working, and worst of all, the flight crew discovers they're completely out of coffee. It's the high-flying lunacy of Airplane all over again, as Robert Hayes and Julie Haggerty fly totally out of the ozone to recreate their hilarious original roles. You not like it?
Okay, so my ranking.
Oh shit. It's gonna go Reese's, Snickers,
Reese's,
Musketeer.
Yep. From favorite to least
favorite. You eat like
favorite.
A fraction of these chocolates and then throw them out. I
have a...
that's hilarious.
So yeah, my ranking from favorite to least favorite. Reese's, Snickers, Three Musketeers.
Airplane 2.
Airplane 2. Airplane. Okay, so let's get to ranking the movies.
Yeah, sure.
So from favorite to least favorite, I have chocolate stuck on my teeth, and that's bothering me.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all your fault.
It is my fault.
You put the chocolate there.
I did.
Favorite, least favorite. Ranking the movies. Where would you put Airplane 2?
In terms of just the two of these movies?
Yeah.
Easily Airplane.
Okay.
Easily, of course.
And then?
Airplane 2.
Okay.
Wait, no. This podcast. Then Airplane 2. No. This podcast, your thoughts, my thoughts, Airplane 2.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you want to add?
No, hold on.
Okay.
Airplane 2.
Okay.
Got it.
So I think I'm going to go with Airplane 2, the sequel.
Yeah, of course.
I might change that.
You might change that?
Yeah.
Why would you change that?
I'm going to put this podcast, Airplane. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
mm-hmm.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Dave's phone number.
How many times you want to read this off, like every single podcast, like the number at the beginning? If you have questions, call us at 805.
Here's the Franchise Mutiny Hotline.
Franchise Mutiny Hotline, otherwise known as Dave.
Dave. Airplane 2.
Yeah, Airplane 2 is just not a funny movie. Super horribly paced, horribly edited.
Do you think
bad jokes?
There's got to be someone out there that's like Airplane 2 superior.
Yeah, it's Emma.
Emma, how would you rank Airplane 2?
What?
I think you should know. I mean, we've been doing this for like a while now. You should know what we're talking.
Which is better, Airplane or Airplane?
Favorite to least favorite. If you're forced to rewatch one of these, what would be the order?
What? Airplane.
She doesn't understand your question.
I love Airplane. I love the first Airplane.
So you think it's a far superior film than that of Airplane 2?
Yes.
Okay.
Far superior.
And now, so you would watch Airplane first and then Airplane 2, or would you get Airplane 2 out of the way so you could?
Oh, this is a different question.
Enjoy. Well, I'm gonna change it up if you don't mind.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
gonna switch
10 episodes and let's change this.
You know.
Yeah, I would save Airplane for last.
Yeah, see, that's what I would do as well.
But you're gonna be lost. You're gonna be like, "What's happening? Who are these characters?"
Do I really?
I don't really know.
I mean, they'd already told you in this. It's the same characters from the first. If you've seen Airplane, you've seen Airplane 2.
Airplane in Airplane.
They do. They reference the movie Airplane in Airplane 2 several times.
They have a clip from Airplane.
Yeah, they have a clip.
Airplane 2.
And they didn't get sued for that. Surprisingly, they didn't sue themselves.
They should have been like, "And here's a clip from Airplane."
Yeah,
let's go to the clip.
It's like a Family Guy joke, though.
Ooh. Yeah, no, Airplane seems like it's responsible for a lot of those type of
it's like the
comedies.
Screwball humor. I mean, it's very much about the cutaways and the weird, quick little...
Generated a lot of comedy shows that I do not enjoy, like Family Guy.
You don't like Family Guy?
Nah, I don't know. I don't like that that everyone's just cool with no substance. That everyone's just like, we have a pile of jokes that's a mile high, and we're just gonna club. We're just gonna just gonna scrape some, and then like into a funnel, and that's gonna go into an episode, and that's the episode. Good. Barely a plot, barely any arcs, anything.
Now, what's better, Family Guy or Airplane 2? Right?
An entire show that is still going?
Still going. It's kind of funny this season, but that's another discussion.
They need to end that. They need to end The Simpsons.
Yeah, Simpsons has always been a puppeted corpse of background.
Because I really like The Simpsons. First 10 seasons, and that's usually everyone's opinion, but first 10 seasons...
Well, first 7 are really...
Yeah,
that's the typical opinion.
My favorite season's actually 8, but it does go down from there. But 11's when it starts not getting good. But yeah, they should just end it so I could just be I want to miss it, and they're not letting me miss it. I'm like, oh man, Simpsons, I missed that show. Like, it's still on. I'm like,
Well, you missed the former show. What it used to be.
I don't know. It might be okay now. I don't know. I haven't given it a chance.
It's not that funny.
I haven't watched it in 15 years since...
since you had a piece of chocolate?
I was eating chocolate. I was watching The Simpsons. I was like, you know what? I'm done with both of these.
I'm done with both of these things.
But yeah, no, Family Guy, not a fan. I haven't seen a lot of it, so I can't compare it to a movie.
Absolute poser.
And then American Dad.
American Dad's kind of funny. I mean, I think Family Guy's kind of funny too, but you're right. There isn't a lot of... It's a lot of the same desperate degree of humor, I guess you could... And I think even I can fall victim to this. It's that idea where you just throw an arsenal of jokes at the viewer, and you're throwing... And they can come from any which direction, any style of joke, from anywhere at all, and it's so distracting that you can't really focus on the plot or even the jokes themselves, and you're lost and you're asking more questions than you are laughing. And I think that might be and that's probably why you're saying that the inspiration of what we see in modern comedy, that kind of postmodern anti-joke thing, really did stem from stuff like Airplane, and the sequel could not capture that chemistry again, and it's probably because of the writing, clearly because of the writing. I mean, I'd also argue pacing and editing, but the writing really did ruin, this movie sucks.
Yeah. And
it's 4 out of 10, man, easily the worst thing I've seen.
And the Simpsons do a lot of those type of jokes, but the first few seasons at least had actual like character interactions, and there were stories and themes, and characters trying to learn from each other.
Yeah.
What is it to be a family unit?
Yeah.
And what that means. I don't get any of that warmth from Family Guy.
Or Airplane 2.
And anyone just walks into a scene like, fuck all you.
Fuck it all.
Let's
just make some stupid jokes.
Let's make some references.
Yeah, well, that's really what comedy like sort of became in this subgenre of the movies. Like the movies just got weirder and more absurd. Legends like Mel Brooks and even what's his name, Leslie Nielsen, like kind of took a backseat to what became that weird like spoof genre that like came out with like Scary Movie. And you've seen a lot of YouTubers talk about like that spoof genre and just how out of control and how unfunny it got. And Airplane 2 is definitely in that pile of shit. And it's probably close to the top. It's the most recently digested unfunny thing.
It's unfunny, but I think there's a little bit of merit in that over the newer spoof things, because those are literally just, we don't need jokes, we just need references. How are we going to fit the Chipmunks into this? How are we going to fit a pop star cameo or a lookalike?
Well, it got more streamlined, yeah. It became like more network focused, like we understand what people would like easily laugh at. Like what are the easiest jokes to go for? And Airplane 2 didn't have the luxury of really knowing that. They just had the success of the first movie. And with that, it was, I mean, you saw it was a mess.
There's a little bit of that. E.T. is definitely it's
horrible.
Very lazy E.T. voice.
Yeah, that impression of the E.T. was horrible. Well, the Star Wars thing, the font at the beginning was a horrible Star Wars impression. It was bad.
And it kept going for a really long time.
And it wasn't funny. The text, like the scroll wasn't funny at all. Like usually that's the part where it's like, that's where you sell the joke, you know, and it was like not even from like just reading text. And it's like, this is probably not even important to the plot. And it wasn't at all. Well, that's all. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah, so a downer.
But definitely a really boring, slow burn movie. I don't recommend this.
But the comedy works so little that it's almost funny again.
It's kind of surprising the places where you will laugh at this movie. Yeah. It will be an uncomfortable laugh. You will be embarrassed. You will feel shame. But, and you'll probably be caught off guard by some of the, I'm sure there's something, easy jokes that will get you to laugh. But otherwise, fucking skip this, man. This is horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to do an episode that wasn't horror, and you nailed it on the first try. You got
I was horrified. I don't know what you're talking about. This felt like a horror movie to me. This is trash.
Got really something bring down spirits, and want to take a second bite, but
you really like that biting metaphor.
I'm really pushing for it.
Fine,
I'm trying to make more T-shirts. So
you're making T-shirts for this podcast? Can I get a T-shirt?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll shill for a shirt.
What phrases do you want to see on a shirt?
I don't know, dude.
You feel like slap it back.
Slap it back. Oh yeah, slap it back was one.
And you gotta just have the text on the back of the T-shirt. Yeah. Slap it back, and then a handprint.
Slap it back. That's good. That's a good one. You got to come up with a list of shirt ideas.
List of shirt ideas. That could be a shirt. List of shirt ideas.
All right, you got to settle down now. You're getting a little out of hand with this.
Okay, so we actually have a guest here to tell us about the episode next week. We have our executive producer, Zach. Zach, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Happy to be here, I guess. Whatever.
Zach, if you're there, just know I'm worried about you, Zach. I'm so worried about you. Like, whatever just said, I did not listen to. I'm more worried about where you are. Are you healthy?
In my house? My doctor thinks so.
Are you clothed?
I think so.
And what can you tell us about next week's episode?
Okay, well, next week's episode, Isaac and a friend from high school, which is a while ago. Fucker's getting old. Gonna be talking about Ace Ventura Jr., Pet Detective. Sounds like a quality film and a quality podcast. You should listen. You should learn. All that stuff.
Sounds good.
I think he was lying. I think he made all that up just now.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you lying?
No, why would I lie about that? That's such a trivial thing to lie about. Come on, guys. I you know what?
He said yes, dude. You hear him?
I did not say
he said
yes.
yes.
You're not even listening.
Said yes, just now.
Sounds like a good episode. Episode 11. Really looking forward to covering that movie and that franchise with that person.
Sure.
That sounds.
I'm still on the line.
A good time.
You know what? I'm hanging up.
He didn't make a face like it was going to be a good time, but it'll probably be a good time.
So yeah, I guess it's over now.